Hi, I'm Carrie Lee with Burleson Orthodontics, and on this episode of Chef's Corner, we're bringing you another recipe and some quick tips you can use at home for delicious meals that are braces friendly. Today we're with Chef Marsha, owner of Counterparts at Home. Chef Marsha focuses on getting families back together around the dinner table with healthy meals inspired by comfort foods, like her roasted tomato bread soup. So let's get cooking.
Today we're going to make a roasted tomato bread soup. It's a great meal. It's very simple and easy to make with only a handful of ingredients, so it's really quick and easy. The ingredients are a pound of vine ripe tomatoes. There's olive oil, and in the olive oil you'll notice I have a little bit of garlic that I've chopped up just to infuse the oil with a little bit of garlic flavor. You need a half a loaf of crusty bread. It can be a sourdough bread or a baguette or anything.
But it could be like leftover bread you've had.
Absolutely, day-old bread. Perfect. The garlic for the oil, we have some fresh basil, which is really our most important ingredient. It gives a nice freshness to the soup. We have some canned tomatoes, a 28-ounce can of crushed tomatoes, and some water and salt and pepper to taste. So that's all the ingredients. It's a nice hearty and rustic kind of soup, so it can stand on its own as a meal, or you can accompany it with sandwiches or salads or really any entree.
Yeah, it looks very simple.
All right, so should we start?
Yeah.
All right, it's real easy. We're going to start off with our tomatoes here, and as you can see on here, I already have some tomatoes cut up, but we need approximately 3 nice-sized tomatoes that we're going to, thank you, that we're just going to quarter and seed, and this is my quick way of quartering and seeding the tomatoes.
So if there's some seeds there, it doesn't really matter, it's just...
No, it just makes it a little bit better. You don't want to put too many seeds in there. Okay. So we're just going to quarter those, and we're going to put these on our baking sheet, and we already have some oil and salt and pepper on these, and we're going to roast these in a 400-degree oven, okay, for about 15 minutes. But while they're roasting, we can put the base of the soup together, so everything is done very quickly.
Do you want me to put that in the oven?
Sure. Okay, so while those are roasting, we're going to make our base of the soup, and I'm just going to heat up this pan, a nice big saucepan, and we're going to add a little bit of the olive oil that we've, again, infused with the garlic. And it doesn't have to infuse for very long, it's just you want a little bit of the garlic flavor. So we're going to add...
But you don't put the garlic, the pieces in themselves?
I don't put the garlic in themselves, I just like a little bit of the flavor. So I'm going to let that warm up a little bit. And let me just turn that heat down to about a medium. And I'm going to take my fresh basil, and I'm going to just do a real rough chop on the basil, so that
does that just open up the aroma a little bit?
It opens up the aroma, and we're going to add it to the oil, and we're just going to get that oil, really flavorful with the garlic and the fresh basil. So do a nice rough chop of the basil, and we're going to add the basil directly to the pan here.
Just stir it up a bit?
Yeah, you want to stir it? Sure. Okay, and just for a couple of seconds there, just to get that flavor going. It smells so good, doesn't it, fresh basil?
Yeah, it even looks really pretty.
Yeah.
A little more of that wilted green pop.
Okay. Now, we have the 28-ounce can of crushed tomatoes, and you can use any brand of tomatoes that you like. I like, at my grocery store, there's a brand that has fire roasted tomatoes in a can, and I really like that because it adds some robustness to the soup. And but you can use any brand you want. We'll just add those.
Stir it up?
Stir that up. Just let those flavors mix in there. Now we have some water, and you want to add the water? We'll add a cup and a half of water.
Okay.
And I'm just going to turn that heat up to just a medium high. And we're going to add the water. We're going to get that, here, I'll take that from you.
It's now my cooking show.
Okay. and we're just going to let that get to a simmer.
Okay.
Now, the water, what you might find happen if you've made the soup and you've put it in the refrigerator, it may thicken up a little bit. So when you take it out and you reheat it, you might want to add a little bit more water or some chicken broth or vegetable broth if you're a vegetarian, just to loosen it up a little bit.
Sounds delicious for some cold weather.
Yeah, oh yeah, this is perfect as the cold weather starts rolling in. So what I like to do with this soup is, now you can leave this just the way it is with the chunks of tomato, and you can see that there's some really nice big chunks in here because I use the diced tomatoes.
Right.
Okay. And we're also going to be adding those roasted tomatoes. We can do that, or I like to just puree it a little bit just to break it down just a little bit, but not too much. So I use just a quick hand mixer.
But if you wanted to, with like some kids, they're like, I don't like chunks. You could actually blend it all the way.
Right.
And for the adults,
Absolutely.
keep the chunks from the ones you've roasted in the oven.
You can certainly do that, and we're going to just move this pot over to here for a second, and I'll show you.
Should I turn the?
No, you can just leave it out because we're going to put it right back on the burner. But I just give it a quick.
And it breaks the basil up a little more
It breaks
too.
the basil up a little bit more. And we'll just stick that right back on and let it continue to heat.
Looks so pretty.
Yeah, nice and fresh.
All the greens and the reds combining.
Mm-hmm. Now with the bread, we're going to add the bread in a minute,
Okay.
and you just slice up your bread and then you dice it into little cubes, and we're going to add it directly to the
You can even
tomatoes.
tear it up, have your kids pick that there, John.
Yes, that would be a lot of fun for the
Destruction.
or the kids, right? Exactly. So we're going to add that in. Now the bread, you don't have to worry that it stays crunchy. It really breaks down in the soup, gives the soup a little bit more texture, so it really becomes soft. So it's not real hard.
If you don't have a crustier, crunchier old bread, can you make it in the oven? Can you kind of make a?
Yes, you can do like a quick, just
Dry it
toast
out?
just to dry it out a little bit, but on a very low heat. And you're not
Okay.
making a crouton
Okay.
or anything. You just
So not too hard.
yeah. But the best thing to do is just leave out some bread overnight.
Yeah.
I don't know, I always have stale bread around. But we're going to add this right into the tomatoes. Okay, and you can just stir that up. And as it cooks, again, that bread's going to break down in that soup a little bit, so it won't be quite so chunky, and the bread will be very, very soft.
Right.
And so it won't be hard when if you
That's
bite
really
into
good for new braces. Make sure you don't
Yes,
pop
it
those
keeps-
wires.
Right, exactly. So really, the only thing left now to do is to add the roasted tomatoes.
And they're gonna take a little bit longer.
They're going to take a few more minutes, but once they're done, we'll just add them to here, and then basically we let the soup cook a few more minutes, and it's done. We've added the bread to the saucepan, and see how it's breaking down, and it's getting real soft. Okay. So now we're just going to season the soup with a little bit of salt and some freshly ground pepper, a couple of twists of the pepper grind, and just about a teaspoon or so of salt. You can add more to your liking or less, whatever you like. But we just season it.
The
a
salt
little
helps
bit.
bring out that sweetness of the tomato.
Sure it does. Yeah. Okay, now our roasted tomatoes should be done, and they're in the oven. You want to grab them?
Sure.
Okay. And we're just going to add these roasted tomatoes right into the soup, just
Okay.
whole like that. And again, it's just going to add some more thickness, and the roasted flavor, and all the juices can go right in there as well. And I'll just, okay. And Carrie, now that's our soup. It's really basically done. So all we need to do is to serve it up and enjoy. So you can see it's almost like a stew. And if you wanted to loosen it up a little bit, you could add more water.
Okay.
Or like I said, broth. But you have a nice hearty tomato soup here, and we can garnish that with a little bit of the garlic infused olive oil, just by drizzling that on top. And you might want to add a little bit of the basil leaf or some little bit of cheese on top of there, and you've got your tomato soup.
That is
Perfect
absolutely
for
gorgeous.
lunch, dinner,
Would you
snack.
mind if I grab some spoons?
Oh, not at all. Always have to taste what you cook.
I know.
Careful, it's gonna be hot.
Well, I kind of already stole one of those tomatoes out of the oven.
Very good. And see how quick that was?
And that fire roast, it almost tastes like bacon.
Yeah.
Delicious.
Yeah. Very quick, very easy, and just a few ingredients. So.
Yeah, that's super simple for a mom that doesn't have a lot of time. Well, thank you so much. We appreciate this. It's a delicious and easy recipe. If you like this recipe or you'd like to see some more, please go to our website at friendlybraces.com.